Hey, in this video I'm going to be reviewing our Theragun after 2.5 months use. Okay, hey, what's up? So we picked this guy up, very expensive on Amazon, $600 to $700. I have very weak hips. They rotate sometimes. I have anterior pelvic tilt, so I have that. I have a very weak low back due to 2 accidents. I have some permanent cervical spine damage. I have very tight traps that lead to a lot of migraines. I've been dealing with that very chronically for many years. I have one hip that's slightly higher than the other, which causes a bunch of misalignment issues. I have very tight hips, tight hip flexors from working on the computer, very weak glutes, tight quads, weak core, and weak hamstrings. Okay, so that's the myriad of issues that I'm dealing with, and that's why we have this. This is intended for use of treatment, not in terms of massage. Okay, so if you have problem areas that are very tight, muscle issues, say the traps that get tight maybe perhaps while you sleep, the hip flexors that get tight because you've been commuting for 2-4 hours a day and you've been doing that for a long time. Okay, so this is used and intended for tight muscle groups, and the effect of those tight muscle groups have an effect on your bones, your nerves, and all kinds of good stuff. With the Theragun, I'm gonna lay out for you guys the pros, the cons, and then we're gonna do a little demonstration, and then I'll give you my take on how I actually use it in my specific use, and the type of job that I have, okay? Perhaps maybe that will help you make a decision as to, do I need this very expensive piece of equipment? Let's go over the cons first. Give me the bad news first, right? Expensive. It's very expensive. That's a big con. $600 to $700 for this hacksaw looking thing. Are the hacksaw and this the same thing? Maybe. I don't know. I would not want to try and use a hacksaw and put a Nerf thingy attaching to it and then try to use it on myself. Please don't do that. That just sounds like a Tide Pod challenge. I do want to preface this and say that this is not a magic tool. Okay, this is not an alternative to this. It's not an alternative to this. It's not an alternative to actually working hard, figuring out what your body needs, specifically your body, because everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is different. It's not a replacement for that. It's not a replacement for stretching. It's not a replacement for exercising. It's not a replacement for laziness, all right? It's not gonna replace that. It's not magic. What I would say is that it is a supplement to this. If you're dealing with a lot of issues, like myself, dealing with a lot of issues, I just laid them all out for you. Chronic issues. This actually is helping me. Another con is that it's loud. Get ready. Watch this. Okay, are you deaf now? I am. Theragun. I think it would be wise, all right? I'm sure to get it going at this speed, it had to be that loud. That was the trade-off, perhaps. I'm sure you're working hard to figure that out, because you're like, wow, that's loud, but it actually helps people. Let's roll with it. I get it. However, after paying $600 to $700, maybe you can include some sort of ear protection, because a lot of times, say you're using this here on the traps, on the top of the shoulder. Maybe you even want to use it on your neck or something. I think it's a little too strong for that. It rattles my brain. But that's very close to your ear, okay? What I was doing before I had these was I would hold my ear, plug my ear like that, and try to do like this. You're still exposing this ear. So that helped a little bit, okay? But after spending that much money, I think you can include some sort of ear protection. I don't know if it's actually damaging your ears. There's nothing that I can show to you to prove that, but it's unpleasant. It's not comfortable. I don't like it. Once you pop these guys in, it's not so much of a big deal. It does disturb the others around you. So another thing is it's a little heavy, okay? So I'm about 5'1". I can lift this pretty comfortably. But after, say I want to treat my whole body, it gets heavy after a while, especially if I have to be in a position like this. Like, say if I'm sitting like this, I want to apply some treatment here. It's a little hard, it's a little difficult. So this is a little bit better. It's not as tiring, but this is. This is definitely tiring. And now you're tensing this to apply treatment here, and then after doing this, maybe this doesn't feel so good. Fortunately, the time frame for a treatment is about 1 to 2 minutes only. So you're not sitting here like this for 10 minutes, okay? You're not sitting here for 10 minutes. You want to apply this sort of treatment for about a minute or so, okay? That's what they say in their guideline. If I was an older person that didn't have a lot of mobility in my shoulder, that might hurt me. They have some different heads here, which is nice. So this is like an everyday use. You're just trying to create some mobility and kind of roll things out very quickly without doing this or something like that. Or you can do this again as a supplement. So that's an everyday use sort of head. This one gets a little bit tighter into the muscles. This is really helpful for the traps. There's that muscle in there that's really kind of hard to reach in between your spine and your scapula or your shoulder blade. Right in there. Feels really good. This guy, these are hard foam, like a Nerf ball. This is hard plastic. If you really need to get into an area, say that's just really bothering you, it's really deep down inside underneath a bunch of other muscles, you can pinpoint it with that. If you have a big butt like mine and you want to get into the gluteus medius area, you can use that here too. The first week that I used this so hard because I was so tight, so tense, and I really wanted to push the limits of this thing, and I gave myself 2 big bruises right here. And yeah, they were pretty. They didn't bother me. It just shows that you can go as far as you can go with this. You know, you can put as much pressure as you like, or you can just sit there and kind of hold it as gently as you want, and then apply the treatment that way. I find that I don't use this very often though. I'm good with these two. This one I rarely use, but it's supposed to be for the softest application of this. This only has 1 speed. So if you want to use it on, say, here, on the hand, on the wrist, a lot of bones in the wrist, the radius and the ulna and stuff like that, you want to get into the ankle. So anywhere where you have a lot of little bones kind of get in the way and maybe you don't want to jut them around too much, maybe use this one. That's their guidance. I rarely use it though. If I have something wrong with my forearm and I've maybe done too many punches or I've been on the computer too long, I'm good with this, you know. How I usually use this, okay, we're going to go over a demonstration right now. A lot of time in the traps, in the low back, right here, the butt, the hip, the hamstrings, the quads, all around in there, hip flexor, there's a hip flexor in here, get in there, okay? And you want to do these in the most relaxed position possible. So for a hip flexor, you would lie down, hip flexor, and I'm not going to turn this on because you won't be able to hear me. So hip flexor, all up and through here. I would move it around like this, and I'm not pressing hard. I'm just simply dragging it across me. If I feel somewhere that I need to put more pressure, then okay, I can put more pressure as need be. And I can get in here into my adductors, those adductors in there. I can roll this up, and then I could apply treatment here to these hamstrings that attach to that are underneath your gluteus maximus, and come up here. I can get into this one. This gets really tight down here, this part of the hamstring, this low part. I can do part of the knee. Can do some of the calf if I need to, right in here. And see, so I want to make sure that I'm not in a tensed position or a contracted position trying to do this. I'm in the most relaxed position possible. So take that idea with you throughout the rest of your body. Take your time with it. Again, you don't want to hang out there too long. It vibrates the skin so much that it can cause some itchiness, because it's just like, you know, some agitation to your skin between the skin, the fat, and your muscle, and that's why you get itchy. So if you get itchy, just give a little scratch, and then it should be gone. You shouldn't be getting any rashes or something like that from it. The battery is here. This is kind of what makes it a little heavy, plus this part of the head that makes it a little heavy. There's an indicator for the battery here, how much charge you have. Lasts pretty long. For a full body application, 1 person, 2 to 3 times before you have to charge it again, and it will just run out. It'll just be like just like that. Turn it off, take it out, put it in the charger here. It's a direct-to-wall charger, and then you place it in there. It's gonna blink red until it's solid green. My use and my husband's use, just 2 people using it on a pretty daily basis. This switching out, okay, it's dead, charge, put it back in. It's good. There's never a time they were like, oh man, we have to wait for it to charge or something like that. And it charges fairly quickly, maybe 20-30 minutes or something like that. Another great thing about this is that it's mobile. All right, so I work in the wedding photography industry. I'm on my feet a lot. I carry a lot of gear. I've got really bad hips, low back problems, so it's great to just throw this in the car and apply this treatment whenever I need to. Maybe after working 4 hours, 6 hours, apply this treatment and then go back to work. I can do this in the privacy of my own car. I can do this in the parking lot where I don't have to disturb other people. And because you can't really bring this guy and roll around, and you can't bring this guy and roll around at your place of work, especially a job like mine. So it's so much better to be able to bring something like this out into the field, apply treatment where I need it, feel a lot better. Maybe I won't be pain-free, but at least I will not have gone 10, 12, 16 hours without doing anything about it and just having to go through the pain. So, whoops, it's got a nice little case, which is cool. So it's not going to take up too much room in your house. It doesn't have to be this eyesore in your house. For us, it's stored easily right here. The charger is there. You can bring this anywhere you like. That's very nice. That is my review. Been using this for 2.5 months now, almost 3. On basically a day-to-day basis. I like to use it before I go to sleep and often when I wake up. It's loud. That's kind of an issue, but because it helps me so much, and it's such a great addition to the rest of the things that I do, I don't mind the sound. You know, it balances out. Nothing is ever perfect. So I like progress, not perfection. I think this is a really cool tool. The link is in the description. If you have any questions, I'm still going to be using this on a day-to-day basis, so please feel free to ask me in the comments. Even if you see that this video is very old, feel free to ask, and I'd love to share my experience and what I'm doing with it. Good luck to you. For those of you who are in pain like myself, dealing with chronic pain, hang in there. Check this out. I think they have like a 30-day return policy if it doesn't work for you. But as always, it's not a magic tool. It's not a replacement of any of these things or the things that you're already doing on your rehab journey. But definitely a great addition, a great supplement. Okay? Good things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.